The Chiefs are currently getting absolutely smoked by the Seahawks in their second preseason game. Right now, the score is like 33-10 in the fourth quarter, but the final score in this game doesn't really matter. I was more focused on watching certain players at certain position groups. Some guys played well, some guys didn't, but I've got a ton of first half takeaways from this game. But if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Michael Darcy and you're watching the KC Sports Report. Do me a big time favor and hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more daily Chiefs coverage. So from the very beginning, the Chiefs were kind of set up for failure. Now, I will say, this is the second preseason game. The preseason does not mean anything in the grand scheme of things. But the Chiefs rested Patrick Mahomes, no Travis Kelce, no Chris Jones, Nick Bolton didn't play, I believe Trent McDuffie sat out, and it was very clear from the very beginning the Chiefs were not serious in this game. And you know that because they had guys like Cole Christensen and Jack Cochran play linebacker, and those guys got absolutely cooked. I mean, I'm talking Nazeeh Johnson level cooked in this game. It might have been worse than Nazeeh Johnson. He actually had a really nice PBU in this game where he was able to just get his hand in there and break up a touchdown pass. But the linebacking, the linebackers in this game, they were bad. I mean, they were really bad. And, Jeffrey Bossa had some moments. McDonald, the linebacker who's not going to make this team, he had a play where he finally stopped Seattle's running game. But for the most part, in the first quarter, Seattle did whatever they wanted to do on the ground. I think they averaged like 10 yards on the ground in the first quarter, and they easily rushed for over 100 in the first quarter. And that's a problem. That is a major issue if the Chiefs ever have to rely on guys like, Christensen and Cochran. But I think that there's a reason why those guys are special teamers. There's a reason why they paid Nick Bolton all that money in the offseason. There's a reason why they paid Drew Tranquill. The Chiefs are not very confident in their linebacking depth, and that's okay, but it just means that if someone gets hurt, goodness gracious. I mean, if you've got to rely on Jack Cochran, no offense, this team's going nowhere. This defense is going to be pitiful. But I do think that, when you add back Nick Bolton, when you bring back Chris Jones and Trent McDuffie, this defense is going to look much better. And Christian Fulton, when you add him to the mix, not really worried. But I do think that, for everyone freaking out about the depth at linebacker, there are some legit concerns there because, if Nick Bolton goes down, we're a couple injuries away from seeing what we just saw in the first quarter of this game in the regular season. And I don't want to live in a world where we see that linebacking core go up against teams that are actually trying to, go out there and just score points. But enough of the linebacking core right now. A couple other notes that I had from this game. Isaiah Pacheco looked really good. Now, he didn't have, very much tread in this game. He caught one ball from Minshew and was able to turn it into a first down. But right when he caught that swing pass, I was like, okay, he looks different. He looks healthy. And that is a great thing for this Chiefs offense. I think that they need him to have a bounce back season. He's your number one running back. It's going to start with him, and he knows he's in a contract year, and the contract year is undefeated. And so he's going to go out there this season with a chip on his shoulder, and if he looks like he did tonight in the regular season with that burst of explosiveness, the Chiefs are going to have a real running game this year with, Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. Elijah Mitchell got a little bit of running in this game. Brashard Smith had a really nice carry. So the Chiefs' running game should be all right. Now, another guy that got a little bit of carry as well, Carson Steele. Not really sure if Carson Steele's going to make this team. There are some people that think that he will. He did play a lot with the first team, offense in this game. He had that one play on fourth down where he basically leaped to get the first down, didn't get it. And we saw, the new electronic chain game, the electronic spotter. Didn't love that, but I don't know if Carson Steele is going to make this team. He didn't really look all that impressive in this game. I'm mainly going off of, first half highlights because I actually didn't get to watch the second half of the game. I've got an early flight back from Minnesota tomorrow, but I do have a lot of first half takeaways, but for the most part, all the important stuff happened in the first half. Looking at my notes right now, another thing that I put on there is that, the run defense was really bad in the first quarter. You don't really got to be a football analyst to say that. But I thought that guys like, Josh Simmons and Kingsley Suamataia, they didn't look bad. Simmons didn't look bad. There was one play where he kind of got, I don't want to say beat, but he didn't look as sharp. Kingsley Suamataia had one play where he got, I don't know if it was bull rush, but he got off balance and was falling. He got beat fast, and it was almost a disaster rep. If Minshew didn't get that ball out quicker, I mean, that is absolutely an injury waiting to happen. And that's my concern. So far from Kingsley, we've seen, that he's solid in run blocking. That's always where he's thrived, but he cannot handle the power at all in terms of pass protection. He got beat in that Arizona game. He got beat tonight on one of his snaps. I actually think that he got beat worse tonight than he did last week. And I think that, again, he still needs more reps at that new position. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if this continues, if he's someone you're going to feel confident starting at left guard. Now, he's going to have that, position for a while now, and he still has to go out there and get more reps. But so far, it's like he's been solid, but there's always one or two reps where it's like that could have been an ultimate disaster if, maybe guys were playing a little bit harder or, maybe something goes differently. And that is a big concern when you've got 15 trying to throw the football and he could get decked because, Kingsley's not doing his job. But I do think that Josh Simmons is someone that you're going to be able to, pencil in as the starter. I think he's going to be reliable. Even when he gets, beat and has bad reps, they're not as bad as Kingsley's. And I think that's because he can handle a little bit more power at left tackle. But I love Josh Simmons. I actually think that he's progressing quite well. I am a little bit concerned about Kingsley, but again, I think that he does need more reps. And that's going to come with more preseason games. And also, it might take a couple games in the regular season for him to kind of get a better feel for that position. Again, this is his second game, actually getting reps at left guard. And so it might take some time. But, overall, they better figure that out quickly because you cannot go into the regular season and give him too many snaps then if you've got 15 back there because he's going to get hurt. Like, just plain and simple, he is going to get hurt. But I do have some more takeaways from this first half, and we'll talk about those right after this ad break. This video is sponsored by the great people over at DM Injury Law. Injured in an accident, you could be entitled to significant compensation, but you gotta act fast. Rely on the experienced personal injury attorneys at DM Law, Kansas City and Missouri's top injury law firm. DM Law is a full-service personal injury practice supported by a large team of investigators, case managers, medical records specialists, and more. And best of all, you don't pay unless they win. DM Law operates on a contingency fee basis, so no fees unless they win your case. And they also provide free consultations. So if you've been injured, don't wait. You can contact DM Law today for a free consultation and learn how they can help you pursue the compensation you deserve. Let them handle the fight while you focus on recovery. Hurt in a car wreck? Call Mike. Remember, Mike's got this. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement. Thanks to DM Injury Law for sponsoring this video. Huge thanks to the sponsors that have supported this channel all offseason long. Now, getting back into my main takeaways from the first half, another thing that I wanted to highlight, Robert Tonyan and Tyquan Thornton should be locks to make this team. You saw Tyquan Thornton have that really nice catch where it was kind of behind him. He was able to adjust. And then Robert Tonyan caught their touchdown pass from Minshew. He was able to find a soft spot in the defense and just get open for, Minshew to basically throw a wide open ball to him. Those guys should make the team. I would love Robert Tonyan as your tight end 3. I don't think we really need to see anymore. And I think that Tyquan Thornton is already a lock to make this team. But another thing that I did want to mention is that I really think that you saw it in this game. The Chiefs' interior offensive line depth is basically non-existent. You saw CJ Hansen get absolutely abused, and it led to that safety. And, I blocked as many guys on that play as CJ Hansen did. And I think that, outside of Trey Smith, the Chiefs aren't really super confident in their guards. Like, the interior offensive line is going to have a lot of questions, to answer very quickly, because you cannot go into the regular season and just continue to struggle. And I understand that the backups struggling is okay because there's backups for a reason, but backups always have to play at some point during the season. Like, your depth is going to get tested, and if we see those guys that, played very poorly, at least in the beginning, on that second team offensive line, I'm going to be a little bit concerned. But another guy that looked absolutely fantastic in the first half, Noah Williams. Noah Williams looked absolutely phenomenal. This is the guy that, is quickly becoming another gem for the Chiefs and, DB coach Dave Merritt. I really like what I saw from him. Super aggressive. I think he could have a much bigger role on this team than we initially thought. We saw, Najee Johnson and Joshua Williams go out with injuries in this game. So, again, your depth is going to be tested, and you need to have players, like a Noah Williams, a draft pick, that could step in if asked. But that's really all I have for my main takeaways from the first half. We're going to talk about this game over the next coming days, and I'll get some guests on, and we'll talk about it even further. But right away, the Chiefs got embarrassed in this game, and I think that you shouldn't really stress about the final score too much, because oftentimes the teams that are really good in the preseason end up being pretty bad in the regular season. But if we see that rush defense, that rush defense with, linebackers like Jack Cochran and Christensen just completely out of place at certain times tonight, I'm going to be a bit concerned. But there's a reason why those guys are special teamers. There's a reason why those guys are backups. And I do think the Chiefs are going to be okay. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. That's all I've got for this video, guys. One final thing, and I might post this in the next couple days. I actually found out that I was featured in the Kingdom documentary that ESPN put out, which is just such an incredible honor. And I want to thank you guys for putting me in that position by watching the videos, by showing so much love. I'm so appreciative to each and every single one of you. And maybe I'll show that in the next coming days. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys want to see that. It was in the second episode, towards the end of the season, towards the end of the episode, talking about Kareem Hunt. Maybe I'll drop it, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily Chiefs content. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video, and as always, go Chiefs.